just out of curiosity, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit before. I was curious, like, when did what are people saying about this movie? And at least as far as Rotten Tomatoes is concerned, it is exceptionally well rated. At least as far as the beginning of our EFAP adventure goes, it was sitting at 96% on the popcorn meter, which is a fucking crime, and 85% from critics. Holy shit, that sucks. I hope it fails. I hope it crashes and burns. I hope a lesson is learned. And hope is the thing with wings, sure, but
the lesson that will be learned, the sort of the lingering, overarching sort of thought on this film will be, man, it was cool and everybody let it fail, so shut up about ever saying that you want good movies or something ridiculous like that.
I saw, people, that thing about, like, there's multiple Halo games in the works or whatever, and plenty of people have said, holy fuck, like, oh god, oh no. There's, like, viral tweets being like, Halo fans don't deserve new games. It's just like, technically,
no one deserves those games.
No one deserves that. Yeah,
I mean, in a sense, nobody deserves it. And on the one, and it's just so crazy that people keep saying that. Like, sorry, man, those old games are better than the newer ones. Obviously, everybody can see that. Even you can.
There are many people
that you feel the same way,
who do not understand the idea of, like, they would be like, well, surely you'd want another Badlands rather than no more Predator, right? Like,
no,
it's always no.
I want it to be over. I just want it.
They don't get it. These are people who are like, it's obviously better for more Predator, even if it's bad.
I would love the mercy of it being like with Tron, where it's over completely for these other franchises that I'm more attached to. You know, I would love, because the problem is Terminator's going to come. They're all going to come.
It'll come back.
These franchises can't die.
It is,
unfortunately.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people who think that undeath is life.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's like the people who just say, "Oh, so you'd rather this franchise just die?" That like this, it fades into obscurity and no one ever talks about it again. It's like it can be 50 years between this and the next Predator movie. People are still going to be able to watch the original Predator.
We have examples of franchises that haven't yet been pilfered and are doing just fine, like Back to the Future.
Back to the Future is the main one, but you know they're coming for that event.
That's the thing, with the framing's almost wrong. It's not like, would you rather these things die? These things are already dead. I just want them buried with some modicum of grace and respect.
It's just the nerves that make them look like they're moving. It's just...
they're Frankenstein in this shit. Bolts of electric going into them.
That's because Disney's axe is lodged in its nervous system.
If TFA never came out and there was never any Star, would have been totally fine with the OT and the...
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's no amount of time between a good movie and a potential bad sequel that could make that good movie any less immortal. Like stuff doesn't just die.
Or that bad movie any more fucking necessary. Like the implication is like, we gotta have a bad Predator eventually. We need some Predator. And it's like, no.
We need Predator regardless of context.
Yeah, people who just want a source of content. Just always have the fucking train of content train flowing. It doesn't really matter about the quality.
And if you,
it's just the worst way to approach it.
See the Dan Trachtenberg quote where he said, in regards to Predator purists criticizing this film, that he insists retreading and remaking the same thing over and over again is not what he wants to do, and risks always upset like people.
There's a way to take risks with a franchise and still stay true to the spirit of it, even if you're doing much different things. And I don't think turning it into a PG-13 movie with a bunch of Marvel humor and cute sidekicks is like, it's not what any Predator fan would have ever wanted.
Sorry, what franchise is he even talking about retreading and remaking? There is no film with the Predator in it that is like a film before it with the Predator in it. They are all a calamity of differences.
Totally different
from the kind of a wacky franchise by comparison. You can say this about Terminator. Terminator 3 is very much retreading on what was done before. But like Predator, it is a wacky franchise where no one film is like the other.
I guess
it's probably the biggest problem with this series.
Maybe Predators and Prey both involve like a forest of sorts. And
oh my god! Stop.
The biggest similarity. That's pretty much it.
People think that's what it is. People do think that's what it is. I was slightly snarky on Twitter when like complimenting this movie for being a break with the stale old Predator, because it's got all these brand new things like quips and merch characters. But there were like a non-trivial number of people will say something like, okay, but you say you want just like a Predator movie with the Predator as this big awesome villain, but didn't we just get, like the last 7 movies are basically like that? So, this is trying to do something new and bold and innovative. It's like, if you really think the last 7 Predator movies are like the original Predator movie, then you're just fucked in the brain. There's not much I can do to help you.
They just group it all together. It's kind of what I mentioned at the beginning about people treating Predator like it's Commando and just bunching it together in their head as an 80s Arnie action flick. They're all the same, and ignoring what they actually achieved with Predator. I really feel like most people don't respect Predator. They just can see the design, they hear the roar, and they think it's a very simple, superficial thing, but it's extremely well written and very, very interesting. That's why we still show up for these things. They just don't get it.
Yeah.
So I don't think the film's very good.
No.
Yeah, I don't think any of us like it.
No.
Where does it rank? What do we think this one sits?
It's above the Predator.
Yeah.
Of course, that is wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's worse than Prey.
It's the second worst.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Predator.
It's not better than any one other than the Predator.
It probably is worse than Predators.
Oh, 100%.
Probably. I'd have to rewatch that one.
Predators, it's not. That's not a good movie.
It's pretty shit, man. It's pretty shit. I don't remember. Movie. I do remember that movie having much more respect for the Predators than this film did. Like Deck is like he's an abomination. I really hate that he even exists.
Yeah, he sucks.
So and I mean, obviously, because Predator is the best and Predator 2 is next. I would say, and I feel like it's not really.
I think probably so, AVP. I don't think it's very.
And then AVP.
It is a gulf.
Not even
between,
probably. No, it is AVP. AVP is the third best in this series.
What a franchise!
AVP.
What about AVP 2?
Where does that? Back up.
Where does that?
I might have to watch AVP again.
Yeah, I'm crazy how well that's in comparison. How well that movie. Everyone would agree it's shit. But the line for what is shit and what isn't has just changed so drastically. Where AVP is slowly.
Bad in 2003 or 4, whenever it came out, is different to bad now. That's what's happened.
There are things in AVP that are neat. There are. Yeah. They exist. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff in there.
Could you say that, because that's the other interesting thing about, there's different quality about it. It might be recency bias, but could you say the same even of AVP Requiem? Like, I remember, I've not seen that one for a while.
I rewatched them both.
On my rewatch list. It's shit, I know that.
To talk about them with Dark Hour and AVP Requiem, I was reminded of how fucking terrible that movie is, truly. But AVP 1, I was kind of like, man... You gave it a shot. You really did. Like, look at you go.
I only saw AVP 2. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just very quick. What I was leading toward, though, is that I think even in Requiem, and I think it even came up during the course of this stream, that there are 1 or 2 things in it you can say where, like, okay, the idea for this, even the delivery might have been shit, but the idea for this, there was worth to that, or like this very, very specific aspect of it was kind of cool, or it kind of worked. The rest of the movie's dog shit, but there's 1 or 2 little isolated bits of it where you can say, that's okay. Can you say the same thing of this movie? Even?
If it has I'm trying one to think, scene,
is there a single good thing about this movie that I could look at and say, that's okay? And I'm struggling to name one.
I don't think I'm willing to give this film anything in terms of like an idea, because as far as I'm concerned, they didn't do the idea. What everybody meant by the idea of what if the Predator is the protagonist of the story. That does not mean, what if we take the Predator, strip away a lot of the things that define that character to everybody, and his main arc is essentially abandoning what they're about to create like a new identity for himself. What people meant when they said that they wanted to see a Predator protagonist story is like the archetypal Predator, but from his perspective. One of the movies that we've seen before, but from that guy's point of view. And that doesn't mean that you can't do things with it to further flesh out and develop like the lore of these characters. That's the expectation. But to just have it be like, well, we're going to have it be generally a pretty generic action movie where they learn, friends, that's good. I don't even know why we would pretend that this is a particularly innovative story. It's not.
I mean,
it simply is not.
Think of how easy it would be to make exactly that movie if the idea about this being the Predator in World War II was the idea. Like if it was just the Predator taking out a bunch of Nazis and the character that we followed was the Predator, I think most people would be on board for that.
Mm-hmm. You could throw the Predator into any random time in history and have the.
This film has the same theme as
whatever you want. So many things you can do.
This film has the same theme as Predators. Friends, you got to work together. You know, it's the same theme as that.
You're all killers. You gotta come together and be a team. Except for Topher Grace, stay away from that guy because he's.
Well, you know, I think that's another thing that's kind of, you know, you can think about what Predator means and what it's about, and what you know, the fact that the film ends with the protagonist of that film essentially stripping away all of the technology down to like a sort of base humanity in order to defeat this monster from another world. There's a lot to think about there. How does this film make you like rethink anything about life? How is this how is this film gonna stick with you? What is this film saying where you're like, shit, man, never thought about it that way before. Damn, you know, 5 years from now, I might think, oh man, Predator Badlands, yeah, that was a really meaningful story.
Oh, yeah,
not that every story needs to change your life, but I mean, a lot of people are talking about this film as if it's gonna change their life. I don't think it is.
There's plenty of movies that are like not even that good, or they're so that I can look back and think about. I mean, Color Out of Space, When Evil Lurks, The Empty Man. There's movies that are like they're not that good necessarily, or they're okay or decent. Weird one. And I'm like, I think about that sometimes. I'll think back and be like, oh, that was a neat movie. I like the what they were doing there.
It's usually a tiny little nugget that you can compliment, but this movie's like devoid of that almost. Like the only thing I can think of.
Prey's a good
mention at the beginning,
example of that. Yeah. There's good stuff in Prey, and I just think about those parts, and the rest just slips away. But at least it's something that was in there that I liked. It had some things.
Yeah, like even Kenobi had that one line. What does the force
even Kenobi had one line? He said,
"Yeah, one line. What does the force feel like?" And was it when you're in the dark? And what does it feel like when you turn on the lights? Like something like that. Just describing what the force feels like. I'm like, that's something at least. Something you could think of that's actually clever and sticks with you. And I could that's a line Kenobi would say. This movie doesn't have any of that. It's worthless. It's like that's what frustrated me when I was watching it. I'm like, man, this isn't even like Dominion or like Alien Earth where it's so stupid that there's so much to talk about. It's just empty and boring and stupid. And like, I know people are going to defend this because there's just enough in here for to like, you know, headcanon the rest.
It's just a fun action movie. Stop thinking about it.
Action movie about family and revenge and redemption.
Action movie. Stop thinking about it, but it's actually an 8 out of 10, and it's one of the best movies of the year. But it's a dumb action movie. And also, don't think about it. I'm tired of this shit.
And also media literacy. Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over the fact that people keep doing this with these terrible movies. They want to simultaneously pretend like it's just this, you know, schlock that you're not meant to think about, while also talking about it like it's a revolutionary, amazing masterpiece. Pick one.
Can't have both. But they.
If I may, this is a positive take on the film that's been posted to the subreddit. In fact, I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Okay.
And it's probably not worth stopping me at any one of these points. All right, because it's just
okay.
I'm gonna read just a paragraph.
Buckle up.
I've not watched Prey or AVP or Autism or any of the other stuff in the series. I've only watched the original and Badlands. The Predator in this movie is perfect. They did not make him weak or reliant or cringe. I could easily see him becoming the Predator from the original. His character stays solid the whole way, only his loyalties change for good reason. They make him more interesting by taking away the tactical and technical superiority. For the most part, his arsenal is limited to a sword and throwing knives. But eventually, he ends up learning and making the elements of his environment into crude analogues of a Predator's normal arsenal. He does not talk more than he needs to.
He lost to a plant 20 minutes in, you freak. What are you talking about?
Like, it goes on, but there's just no point reading anymore. The second it said, like, he is perfect in this movie, I was like, oh.
You made all that up, my dude. Like that's
This is a meme. This is a meme. This is
like that's
memeing.
It is the polar opposite. Everything they've just said.
He's correct about saying he uses the environment to create analogs for the Predator weapons, but it's like, how is that not stupid to you, though? How is that not insane that he has an eel which he turns into a plasma cannon?
Well, that part's good, but
yeah,
that's unbelievably cringe. Like
That's a
just so
meme.
fucking lame.
That's definitely a meme.
And just so you know, there's a comment in this thread that says, I saw Drinker's video title before watching the movie and audibly groaned. Even worse now after watching the movie. It's
What's
this title
of Drinkers?
I'm assuming he said it was shit, which would have been nice of him.
Or did he say it was Disney? Which, I mean, it is. Sorry. Like, I mean, it is.
Absolutely
It's very
is.
much
It's a Disney Predator.
Yeah, it's called Disney Consumes Another Franchise. Correct.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
true, correct. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
even if
groan.
you
That's
like it, it
true.
would
Disney
be hard to
acquired
argue
Fox.
against
They consumed it. They did. So it's just objectively true.
They
But
ate
it's
it
like
and pooped it out.
Even, like, assuming we didn't even know that, assuming we had
like
no,
that.
assuming we had no idea that Fox had anything to do with Disney or that Disney owned the IP, even if it was made by an entirely different company, it would be impossible not to watch this movie and be like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, they're using Marvel humor and they're giving him wacky sidekicks
Grogu with it.
and a
They've
cute,
got
yeah,
their own Grogu.
It's Grogu. That's just the,
More like Grogu.
You can't
the
even.
white Grogu is small and cute, but also super powerful, and you don't want to fuck with him, and he's eventually going to be the most powerful ally. It's like all of
It's the
that is
same
just like
formula.
pulled out of the Disney franchise reboot territory playbook.
Same formula over and over again. And we knew with Wendy, as soon as we saw that, like we have a chick who's gonna have a pet xenomorph, and now we get this, where we get this fucking goofy relationship between whatever her face is, I can't even remember now, and Deck. It's just so lame. Why is this?
There's
the
only 3
direction we're gonna
characters.
go
What do you
with?
mean?
Oh god, fucking terrible, terrible, terrible movie. Indefensible in my opinion, man. There's so many things we went through, from the grenade to every other fucking aspect of this movie. You have to jump the mental gymnastics you have to fucking leap through to make this a functional movie. You have to ignore
You
so
have to
much.
invent a different film, like we
Yeah.
often
Yeah.
do by accident
Yeah.
because of our jobs, and it's what help us stay sane and sharp. But you really do have to kind of just invent a different film for this one to make sense.
But even when you do that, it's gonna be entertaining because you're using the established rules. You're trying to play canon, like what should be done here, like based on what we have to work with. They just fucking throw a bunch of shit on the board and see what sticks. And if you don't like it, fuck off. It was supposed to be bad. I hate this shit. This movie really annoyed me more than I thought it would.
And it's
Yeah,
just that wheel fucking
It felt
turning.
empty.
Every spoke is a different franchise, and it's like, that's the Predator one. We'll come back to you in a few years. Thanks. Bye. You know,
Good
Alien
friend
had its
Predator
turn
is here once
semi-recently.
again.
Terminator is a curious one because it got its weird anime TV show, which I think I'm probably the only person here who watched.
I saw it. It is not good.
It's not
and
good.
I generally like anime.
And yeah, you know, Terminator will get its chance again someday. I think that they're panicking because they don't know how to make a Terminator film without Arnie, which he's probably not bothering anymore, I'd imagine, with how old he's gotten. Though he's got his Fubar TV show, I think, it's on season 3. Still making that.
Oh, hey.
And the Arnold Netflix documentary is very good. Go watch that. Don't watch any
Yeah,
new
it is a good
Terminators.
Is it? I love Arnie. I just want to see because, like,
Very
for me,
good.
Oh yeah, if you like
I,
Arnie, you should watch the shit out of that. It's excellent.
because for me it's both. It's like I love him from his bodybuilding days. I love his effect he's had.
You should
Powerlifting, and I
definitely
love
watch
him
it, man.
Yeah, and I love him for the movies too. So he's just had such an interesting career. It's just, yeah, he's awesome, man. Arnold
Well,
is
I
just-
stand by. I think.
I like his tax reform.
I think his best performance is probably in Predator.
I think I really like Dutch. I think he does a great job. Extremely underrated.
Like,
But I
love
also
him in.
think him in T2 is like fantastic. He doesn't get enough credit for that.
Well, yeah, T2
He's
is one of the ones that could compete with it, but I would say, you know, like Kindergarten Cop or Jingle All the Way or fucking Batman and Robin or
Batman and Robin.
even Total Recall to an extent. Like those are I love his acting in those, but Predator to me is like where he's borderline like, man, you're just doing good acting. Like you're actually
He's acting.
He is
It's
a
not
good actor.
He's doing good in Predator. He really nails Dutch in terms of the control. And one of my favorite things about Dutch is him realistically never losing his cool in a way where he's not just like, oh, I'm cool action guy, I can never be afraid. It's believable the composure that he has while everyone else is trying to figure things out. I really like how stoic he is, and like even when like he tries to figure out why didn't he kill her, why isn't she bleeding, why didn't he, like, just trying to use logic rather than just getting frustrated in the situations. Like Arnie really does a good job as Dutch. He doesn't get enough credit.
Well,
But same thing goes for T2. Like the amount of people who say he's just robotic, that's why it works.
Oh yeah,
Nah.
I would definitely defend him on that one. I wouldn't let it be
He's
said
great.
that he's only good because it's a robotic role. It's like, nah, he's doing more than that.
Why? Like doing those scenes with John Connor, the whole back and forth, like that's my favorite element of the movie.
Because you told me
like
to.
it's so
Yeah.
like the scene where he almost kills those guys because John's just fucking around is one of my favorite fucking movie scenes ever because it just escalates so quick.
I mean,
like,
dude,
whoa.
I know
would've
now
done
why
the
you
exact
cry
same
wouldn't
thing.
work if he wasn't pulling it off.
Yeah.
You gotta thread the needle on that.
There's just the right amount of emotion that it doesn't seem like he turned into a totally different organism to deliver that line, but also there's something there. Yeah. I know now why
He's
you
telling
cry,
us that after
Dragon.
watching this
So
movie.
good. It's so good. This is how you do androids, robots, or whatever. Like, actually pay attention to the premise. Not like this chick. She honestly will go down as one of my least favorite characters ever. She sucked, horribly written, unbelievably annoying, horrible effect on the plot. It's just she's worthless. Just delete her from the movie, and it functions significantly better, even with just boring ass deck. I really think it will.
Well, if we're deleting her, may as well delete him as well.
Not that I like him, but I if it was Deck, I was saying this to who I was talking. I think I was talking to Cynic. Like I would have been happy to not happy, but I would have been okay with watching Deck trying to find water and trying to figure out like which plants to use, which animals to avoid. No dialogue, just like a survival like situation with a
Yeah,
predator.
Samurai
That
Jack
would've been
style.
way
Like,
more
just
interesting.
Back
than
to
the
hardly
whole
any dialogue,
Samurai
and it's
Jack.
just like
Jack.
all visual storytelling of like us just going through the predator trying to figure out this planet and take down its most powerful animal. It would have been pretty cool.
If
But I guess you can't have it as second monitor content once it hits Disney Plus, so that's probably why there had to be tons of talking in it constantly.
maybe it will hit Disney Plus sooner than you think. Who knows? I guess
probably.
because it only has come out, so we'll see.
Well, thank
we'll see how it
goodness
does, but
they're experimenting. You wouldn't want to retread, so good stuff, Dan.
nope, we wouldn't want to retread. Strike out into new uncharted territory with the Predator franchise. Breathe new life into it.
Oh, we did get confirmation that not that this is a surprise to anybody, but I consider it another spoke on the wheel. The Jurassic 7 or whatever the fuck it's going to be called. You know, that's on the way.
Yeah, same cast pretty much. It's got,
Man.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, we're going to continue the retarded Rex story. We're going to get him back.
Yes,
She
That's
did
a good-
fucking
wait to
nothing in
learn
that movie.
The first
did
thing
it?
about those characters, having seen one entire movie about them, and I know nothing about them, so maybe the next one will, start doing the work.
She tried to have like a little character boat, but that's all they did. It just like that's about it. That movie was like shockingly empty.
At least I did see someone actually sent me this a moment ago, so it kind of does allow us to have a bit of a high note.
Okay.
And it certainly makes me a
Oh,
bit
yeah,
happy, and has nothing to do with anything related to what we're talking about. But fuck this movie, I'm done talking about it. I never want to think about this film again. But yeah, there we go. At least so shine a little ray of light. I hope.
Yeah, for those at home who do not know, the good news: Funko has admitted it might not survive another year. The pinnacle,
oh my God, so GameStop's going under
iconic
too,
representation of unbridled fucking hedonistic consumerism.
Yeah.
Down with you, please.
Cheap, soulless, aesthetically hideous toys are going away, apparently.
I've never seen one that looked good. They're all shit.
There's like I'll be
I have
nice
the
and
only
say
two good ones,
there's,
so,
there's some or whatever. I kind of hate the design philosophy about it.
Well, if they're out there, I haven't seen them. I just don't think like when you compare it to NECA and all the high quality.
Oh yeah, no comparison
one?
at all. They're a lot more expensive though. Like NECA, like even the higher end ones, like first four figures. And
NECA, like my figure in my back tire neck, they get the details down to like Freddy's face. It's like it's so fantastic. NECA figures are great.
Oh wow!
No, I will admit,
yeah,
I picked this one up because my local store was shutting down, and I wanted to buy something. And they had this on clearance, so I was like, "Oh, I'll get that. That's kind of fun."
Okay, no, that's solid.
Yeah, that breaks the mold. Yeah, that breaks the mold. So,
that looks great. It doesn't even I wouldn't even initially.
Well,
that looks great.
the soulless black eye is actually green and it actually suits the thing, so it's like that part doesn't damage as much. And then it's like, yeah, this is a bit more involved, isn't it? So it's like,
yeah, there's something going on there. It's not just a different face design on the same basic figure that has like its own a unique body shape.
Yeah, this is kind of what I think about in terms of like there are some Funkos that are not as cringe as the others.
Definitely, there's
But
a few.
by and large, on the whole,